Hello HBA, Dan here in our first installment of 2024 of introducing you to your leaders. And today I'm with Kirk Mickelson of KRM Development in Tanzanite Homes. How are you, Kirk?
I'm doing great, Dan. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. We just want to tell us a little bit about you and introduce you to our members.
Yeah.
Why don't you start with a little bit about KRM and Tanzanite, how many houses you build, your team, where you're located, and just some general things.
Yeah, so Amanda's my wife.
Okay.
We started KRM, it's actually 20 years ago. So in March of 24, it'll be 20 years since we started KRM. So kind of an exciting year for us.
That's great, congratulations.
Thanks. And then our Tanzanite product line we brought on in 2012. And, our KRM is kind of our, custom line down, about 450,000 and up in price point from there. And then our Tanzanite really today is just kind of our entry level price point. Be like that 3.25 to 4.25 price point.
Okay, great. And how big's your team? Tell us about. I know you're in Urbandale, but tell us a little.
So our office is in Urbandale. We're just kind of south of where Homemakers is over there. 104th and Justin Drive over there, just a little west of there. But so we've got a showroom there, and then our team. We've got about 40 people on our team total between our field staff, our internal designers, and our finance team and our sales team.
Okay, great. And you've got a cabinet store right around the corner, right?
Yeah, so we actually own the Cabinet Boutique, and that's kind of right next to our office showroom. So they've got their own independent showroom. We have a few kitchen designers over there, and we do cabinet supplies for retail, other builders, remodelers type stuff as well.
Great. Well, let's take a couple steps back. So I know you grew up in Chicago suburbs, and what brought you to Des Moines? And tell us a little bit about you as a person.
Yeah. So I was, I grew up, always liked, working with my hands. When I got out of school, when I graduated, I went to Valparaiso University over in Northwest Indiana. When I graduated from there, I went into sales. So my first job out of college, I worked for Larson Storm Doors. I was a salesman for them for about 3.5 years. That was when Home Depot was on a big rampage growing in Chicago market. And so I set a lot of Home Depot stores over there. But, got into paint sales after that, and then had a friend of mine that, recruited me to come out, and I sold paint in Des Moines area for a while, and then got off on my own building a couple years later.
And so then you met your wife while you were here selling paint, and you've got some kids.
Yeah, so we worked for the same company here in Des Moines, and we hit it off, and we got married and started KRM right after we got married, and now we have 2 kids. So Ryan is my son. He's my oldest. He's 18. He's a senior at Dallas Center Grimes High School. He's going to go to Iowa State next year. He's going into civil engineering. He really is excited about that. He's taking a class at Waukee Apex right now, an engineering class there, and he goes down to DLR Architects a couple days a week, so he's really excited about that. And then my daughter, Katie, is a sophomore, and so she's going to be 16 in February. She'll actually have a regular driver's license, and we will get a new level of freedom that we haven't had. So she's a wrestling manager at DCG. Got a lot of friends. Does a lot of she's got a pretty active personal and social life, and just having a lot of fun in high school.
Yeah, great. And Ryan, at least, I don't know about Katie, she's not old enough yet, but kind of a chip off the old block, right? An entrepreneur already. Yeah. He's got a business he started.
So Ryan's, he's worked doing different things for us the last couple of years. And last summer he started his own mowing business. So he worked all summer and then kept track of what he was mowing. He mowed all of our vacant lots and then just did some other special projects for us. And he set up his own entity and, learning about delayed gratification and working and not getting a paycheck till later, and he's excited about that. So he wants to continue that going as he's going to college, and he'd like to get into doing some rental properties here at some point in time. Is his next deal he wants to do.
That's great. So now we use a business philosophy called EOS. I know you run traction at KRM, but there's another thing that you've done. It's called an EO group, this entrepreneurial.
Yep.
Why don't you tell us about that? How did you get involved, and what maybe lessons do you think you want to try to bring and help us apply here?
Yeah, so I joined. I had a good friend of mine that encouraged me back in 2008 to join EO. So EO is an international organization. It's called Entrepreneurs Organization. It's about 16 to 17,000 members internationally, and we've got a chapter in Des Moines that's about 50 members. But the cool thing is, with EO is you have to be an owner, founder, or controlling member of an organization. And we have a peer group in there. It's called a forum group. And what's interesting in your forum group is they're non-competing industries, but just drawing. It's a big experience, sure. So drawing on other people's experience, and through that organization over the course of the last 15 years. I mean, I've had a lot of other people that have maybe made some mistakes that have allowed me not to make those same mistakes through their experience. And then I've also made a lot of mistakes that I think have helped maybe some other people not make some of those same mistakes. But
that's how it all works, right?
Yeah.
You give back and you help, you pay it forward, right?
100%. And it's been probably one of the biggest launches, helping me continue to grow business-wise and continue to, personal development. Through EO, I got connected to EOS that you guys run, and the guy who's our implementer for EOS is actually an EO member out of Chicago, and he's friends with somebody that's in my forum, and that's how we got connected. And he's been our EOS implementer for the last 6 years now, and he was just in last week for our 2-day annual that we had.
Great. So tell our members, not me necessarily, tell our members what you look forward to this year. What made you want to serve? And
Yeah. So I've been on the board for a few years. I've been going through the ladder, so second vice president, first vice president. But I think, what I'm really excited about is, the PAC awareness. I mean, we have awareness to PAC, and as I've been more involved in listening to discussions at the state level and just different things going on, I'd like to really support, helping to raise more awareness of our PAC and funding for that, so that we can do a better job lobbying as an organization. And then the other big one, Jeff Ellis kicked off was, this HBA Cares, the give back, and really helping, people that maybe don't have the means to do some projects that they need to do, get those projects done. And so I think really driving the initiatives on that. And then I think the big thing is just, this will be the second year that the Home Show Expo is going to be in the fall. So, I mean, I think historically people have always looked at the Home Show Expo as, hey, July is the Home Show Expo. This will be the second year that it's in September, continuing to create awareness on it. We're going to build a house in the Home Show Expo this year. We're really excited about that. We do a lot of work in Shadow Creek and Clive, and it's we actually built our first house in Shadow Creek back in 2006 in the original plat. So we've actually been building out there for 18 years.
Wow.
And which is pretty amazing that project's that big, that it's gone that long. I mean, there was, some delays in the middle of that, but it's a great area. I think great location. It's a baseball throw to Northwest High School. So I think, that Home Show Expo experience out there in September, Vista's always a great host for that. I think is going to be a wonderful experience.
Great. Well, if you want to know any more about Kirk, you want to know more about KRM, EOS, EO, anything, I'm sure you can reach out to him at any time. He's very approachable. I know firsthand from working for him for a couple of years before I came here. And I'm really excited about you being our president. So don't hesitate to reach out. I know his contact information is right here too. So thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Dan, for having me.